before we close up, I really want to bring us back to the current situation that we're in now. So if I was, say, a casual employee or a contractor, and the lockdowns happened, and I'm in Sydney, and because of that, I've lost income just in this 4-week period. How would, if the negative income tax was in place, would it immediately kick in, or would I have to? How would I have to notify the government that my income's changed or something? What would happen?
I mean, we'd like to kick in as fast as possible. Ideally, it would be linked to payroll tax systems. Like realistically, if you're earning your own payroll tax, the government knows who you are. The government knows some element of your financial details. If you're sort of if you're lower income anyway, and in our proposal earning less than 64 grand a year, or a partial income recipient already, what the government could do in a lockdown situation is just send out those stimulus checks, or not stimulus, but just send out the payments. Pretty much everyone is going to be caught up in the lockdown anyway. And if they are earning more than the threshold, well, you'll get it back in tax eventually.
Michael, did you have a question?
Yeah, well, that's exactly right, Alex. That it's nonsense to think that we've got a tax system which everybody's worried about people getting, benefits they don't deserve, and yet if they get them, the government knows who's got them. It gets added to your tax at the end of the year, and it gets recovered. But it
less usually with robo-debt.
What?
Or more frustratingly and potentially suicidally with robo-debt. But yeah.
Well, yes, but you have to.
There was
a
good article by Osman Faruqi the last couple of days. Yeah, you do have to put your tax return. You've
got to put your tax return in. Yeah, and so whereas the robo-debt was estimates of, based on criteria, right? It's got awful, right? But if you're putting in your tax return, whatever it is you're going to be paying in tax, and on top of whatever you did earn, the government knows exactly how much extra money you got, how much they paid you. They add it on, and if it's over the limit that's determined to be fair, they say, well, you'll have to pay it back as extra tax, and you'll know that yourself because the formula is dead straight. So I just, with you on that. The other thing I just wanted to say.
Now that we're about to run out of time, I've realized there's two really important questions we haven't touched on. One is this monitored by the tax office? And are there any other welfare payments that stay after this is fully phased in? Do we still have disability payments, parenting payments?
So if you read the full policy, we commit to adding in additional money if the basic income on whatever numbers turns out to be less than the age pension or less than the disability support pension or whatever. We commit additional money to at least match those as they currently are. And so that would be just an additional top up, as it were, just an increase in the base payment, if you think of it in a base payment perspective. And we'd probably taper that out a bit as your income goes up. And so if you qualify for the DSP and you're earning $100,000 a year, then maybe you don't need the DSP. Not wanting to be a dick about it, but
okay.
But yeah.
And it's all organized and it's all administered by the tax office?
As much as it can be, yeah. Just deduplicate to as much as you can.
Okay.
Because, if you can just run it all through the tax office, then why wouldn't you?
Yeah, so, I mean, how much of it do you think is possible to get through the tax office? I mean, would disability payments... well, I mean, do you guys have a position on whether there still is a disability payment as a separate thing, or you top up the current amount for those people, within the framework of the tax office?
We think of it the policy is worded as a top up, so it's essentially a supplement to the basic income, in recognition that you have additional tougher circumstances, and I guess the same goes for the age pension effectively.
All right. Does anyone have any questions, or should we wrap up there? We've got exactly 2 minutes to spare if someone's got a last
Yeah,
question.
I can, if you desire, I can read you the full list of things that we'd have top ups for.
Okay, will that take less than 2 minutes?
Yeah. Okay. Top up to match existing pension levels for aged, disabled persons, veterans, and carers, and to match rent assistance.
Fantastic. All right.
And taper them out such that if you're earning $100,000 a year on your own bat, then you probably don't need those anymore.